What is going on, guys? Corrosive Bullet here, and welcome to our brand new catalog series of all things. The developers of Fusion World just decided, instead of just slowly revealing everything, and since we're only a couple weeks away from the release of Blazing Aura Set 2 of the game, they just dropped the entire catalog on their website. So, in this next couple video series, we're going to be going over every single archetype and every single card that's being released with Blazing Aura in Set 2. We're going to start off with Red today and go over every card that's going to be releasing with Red and give you my thoughts and opinions on all the cards that are releasing, and then finalizing the video with final interpretations, final impressions, and kind of giving them a grade in terms of where they kind of sit in Set 2. So, if you guys want to see more videos like this, hit that subscribe button, like the video for more. Let me know in the comments below what you guys would like to see from each of these decks. And at the end of the video, let me know, out of everything we talked about, what's your favorite card that you've seen in this giant reveal that we're going to do. So, let's get into it. So, we already kind of talked about the leader a little bit, so I'm just kind of I'm going to kind of glaze over the leader just a smidge. Unfortunately, the card art does not show up when you show the backside, but I mean, the alt art for the front side looks good. I think I'd probably prefer the original, but it is what it is. So, Son Goku, when attacking, he draws a card, and then when your life is a 3 or less, you draw one card, then flip this card over. He's only 15,000 power, nothing crazy. Then on his backside, he goes up to 20k. And then when attacking, he draws a card, and you activate main. Once per turn, you discard one card from your hand, and you get to play up to one battle card with 20,000 power or less and Tournament of Power in its special traits from your hand. I think this is a good ability. I think it's a little bit costly, just because the card that you would be drawing on that turn that you use this ability, you would basically be drawing one, removing one from hand, so it'd be a net 0 gain in your hand. But being able to play a card from your hand for basically free is kind of is actually really good, for the sense that aggro, Red is always supposed to be an aggro deck, and in Set 1, Red wasn't really set up to be quite the aggro deck it was supposed to be. So I think with this gives a little bit more identity to the red archetype and how it's supposed to be played. So next up, this is actually kind of funny. Analaza, 4 cost, 30k, 10k combo, Universe 3 Tournament of Power common card. He's just a vanilla beat stick, nothing crazy. And I only say it's crazy because I don't think there's an Analaza card in Masters at all. So it's kind of, or at least one that's profound, or in like a common slot like that. I don't know. It's been a little bit since I've actually seen any of the Masters meta. So, but as far as I recall, Analaza doesn't really have any representation in Masters. Very little. So it's kind of funny that he's getting this kind of representation here now. But he's just a 30k beat stick, nothing crazy. All right. So next we have Kakunsa, 4 cost, 20k power, 10k combo. Activate main once per turn. Switch this card to active mode. Then this card gets minus 5,000 power for the turn. So she is basically a dual attack. And on her second attack, she ends up she goes from 20,000 to 15,000. I would say it's not the worst card. I would say that this card maybe works a lot better on an unawakened leader than an actual awakened leader. You could maybe also get a little bit of utility out of this guy, out of Kakunsa, by maybe swinging at leader for 20k to try and push some damage on leader, and then using the 15k to kind of clear something lower on the board maybe. Or if the leader's unawakened, like I said, you could play them for 20k, swing at something on board, and then if the leader still isn't awakened on the second turn, you could swing at him for 15 to try and force him to awaken. There's a little bit of utility here. I don't think it's anything crazy, but there's obviously some. You can maybe make this work. That said, I don't think she's anything too crazy. Next up, we have Pato Pesla, 20k power, 3 cost, 10k combo. On play, when attacking, and when KO'd, You choose up to one of your opponent's battle cards, and it gets minus 5,000 power for the turn. This has a lot of utility, surprisingly. 20k for 3 cost is relatively standard in a lot of cases. But the fact that his ability procs on play, procs when attacking, and procs when he's KO'd is kind of crazy. So not only can you minus 10 something just on the turn that he's played, but on KO being able to minus 5,000 something for the turn, maybe making it so that way you force your opponent to combo in order to, when swinging with a battle card. I mean, there's a lot of utility in Catapesla here. Now, I don't know if I would necessarily run him at a 4 of, but I mean, he seems pretty solid, all things considered. All right, so then next up we have Ganos. 3 cost, 20,000 power, no combo. Permanent, this card gets 25,000 power while it's in a battle with an opponent's battle card. We already have a card like this in set 1. I'm trying to remember who does it. I think it's the two cost Vegeta? Yeah, there's a 2 cost Vegeta that's not the crit one. There's a 2 or 3 cost Vegeta that gains, I think, 10,000 power when attacking a battle card. Something like that. I mean, 25,000 power is a lot, though. So he's going from a 3 cost 20k beat stick to a 45k beat stick for 3 energy. I could maybe see some use in this guy, maybe running 1 or 2 of just for some additional power. But the fact that he gets no combo power really kind of hurts red, I think, in my opinion. So I could see use for this guy. I just don't see anybody really running him more at like 2 of. But 45k for 3 costs is actually pretty strong. So very aggressive playstyle, easily able to remove stuff off the board. I don't see, for him being no combo, I think it's fine. Definitely a solid option. Then we got a 3 cost 25k 10k combo, Vanilla Caulifla. Nothing crazy. Again, 25k for 3 costs. We have a lot of vanilla cards that are like this. It's a vanilla beat stick that is searchable through search cards, Tournament of Power, whatever have you. Not able to be played by the leader skilled Goku. So it's just a matter of when, if you want to, I think you would have to pull her from either regular draws or from searching to really make benefit of her abilities. But I mean, she's okay. I don't know if I necessarily say she replaces any other 3 cost 25k beat sticks, but if you have a searcher for the Tournament of Power, I don't think or Saiyan, I don't think it's the worst thing. Next we have a 2 cost 20k power 5k combo Caulifla. She has crit, and then on play she adds 1 card from life to hand. 20k crit for 2 costs is actually not bad. In set 1, I think we have a bunch of 2 costs that are going for like 15k crit. So having that extra 5k actually adds a little bit of offensive pressure, at least in the early game. So this isn't the worst. This isn't a bad card whatsoever. I think that you could probably get some use out of her. Again, I think it's more of a matter of, can you search for her? You'll be able to play her off of Goku's leader skill. I mean, I don't see anything wrong with this card. It's a good option. Good option to have added in. Next we got Quitella, the God of Destruction for Universe 4. More God of Destruction support's actually really, really cool. I feel like a lot of these God of Destruction cards, at least some of the ones that we've seen early on, seem to really benefit the Beerus deck more so than anything else, because a lot of them seem to have a lot of negging potential as well as like KO potential on play. So this guy's 2 cost, 20k power, 5k combo. On play, choose one of your opponent's battle cards with 15,000 power or less and KO it. Not a bad option. Not a bad option whatsoever. If you want to build a deck that's based around control as opposed to playing aggressively, he's a pretty solid option for early game. Then we got Kawaii, 2 cost, 20k power, 10k combo, vanilla beat stick. Again, it's a beat stick, nothing crazy to write about. If you could search for her, it's not bad. She's also playable off of the leader Goku. So again, not a bad option whatsoever. Then we got a 3 cost, 20k power, 10k combo, Kaba. He is a blocker, and on your opponent's turn, he gets 5,000 power. So he's a 20k. He's a 20k blocker. I feel like personally, this isn't the greatest blocker in Fusion World. There's nothing really crazy to write home about. I would maybe argue that the set 2 Roshi for yellow is a lot better than this guy. I mean, this guy really is no different than, what is it, the 17 from set 1, who's also a blocker. I think he's a blocker. No, he's not a blocker. Don't mind me. I'm just kind of rambling. I don't think he's bad. Again, if you can search for him, I think he might be a solid option. But, again, 20k is not all that hard to get over. There's a lot of ways to just kind of remove this guy off board. Blue has a lot of options now. Yellow has some options to rest and keep rested. I don't see you running a lot of this guy, if at all. So, I mean, it's a solid option if you want to run Universe 6, more Tournament of Power, but just it kind of is what it is. All right, next we got 3 cost, 35,000 power, 5k combo, Hail. Where on your opponent's turn, this card gets minus 20,000 power. I think this is a really strong card for 3 energy. But it comes with the caveat that when you're playing this, you're using this to play aggressively, to clear something off board or to guarantee a life to be taken from your leader. And you know full well that this card's probably getting removed on your opponent's next turn. So a really good aggressive option, if not a little costly for what it's worth. But in a dire situation where you might need to remove something strong off the board early, Kale is actually a pretty good option. So I think there's some use with her. All right, next we got a 3 cost, 2,000 power, 10,000 combo, Kefla. On play, if your leader is awakened, draw 1 card. Again, another option for the leader Goku. Very strong option. It's basically a cantrip for 3 power. And if you can play her for free off the Goku, you're saving energy by doing so, and it's 20,000 power. Plus, you're getting a card back in hand. So, I don't think there's anything wrong with her. I think it's a solid option. Maybe you might run this at maybe 2 or 3 of. I can't really say if you would run this a whole lot at. I don't think you would say that you'd run this at 4. There's always the possibility you could, but I think it's a solid option for the Goku deck. And we already learned about this girl. Probably the best card in the deck. We're gonna look at the alt art. So this is the 4 cost SR Kefla, 20k power, 10k combo. If your leader is awakened, this card gets 5,000 power. So this is great because you can play her for free, basically for free, off your leader skill. You discard 1 card and you get to play her. She automatically gains 5,000 power, so she's already at the level of power for Fusamasu and Broly, which is great. And then on play, she draws you a card and then allows you to play up to 1 battle card with a cost of 3 or less and Tournament of Power in its special traits from hand. So you could easily activate Goku's leader skill, swing with your Goku, gain a card. Activate his ability, discard a card. Play her, gain 5,000 power, draw another card, then play another card for free off the bat. This is a really strong card for Red. It gives Red the aggressive playstyle that it is destined to be and has always been in Masters, while also giving you the ability to play more aggro and actually dropping stuff on the board for free to apply additional pressure to your opponent. Very strong card, very good card, easy 4 of. Easy 4 of for next set. Next we have 1-drop Seadra, 15,000 power, 0 combo. Choose up to one of your opponent's battle cards with 5,000 power or less and KO it. I honestly don't see much use for this card, in all honesty. This guy, honestly, the 1-drop Whis from set 1 that you can activate the ability to do minus 5,000 on something works so much better than this card does. Plus, that Whis also has combo power. So, and it's only 5,000 less power. The only positive that I can give this card, I think, is the fact that he's 15,000 power. And on play, not only are you removing a card, but you're able to also swing and potentially do damage to your opponent. That would be the only saving grace for this card. But the fact that he's 0 combo, I think really hurts this guy. Like, at the very least, I think he should have at least been 5,000 combo. But that's neither here or there. I don't think this is a good card at all, honestly. Maybe good for Beerus, but I don't think he's really all that. All right, we also had this revealed too. This is also going to be a staple in the Tournament of Power Goku card. We got a 3-drop 25k power Android 17. He's got 2 permanent skills. Your leader with Universe 7 in its special traits gets 5,000 power. And if your leader is awakened, this card cannot be KO'd by the skills of your opponent's battle cards. So let me retract that. This guy I don't think is going to be a 4 of in Tournament of Power Goku's deck. You might run a couple of him in Tournament of Power Goku's. This guy is going to be a big benefit to Universe 7 Goku, though, from set 1. Being able to increase him up to 25,000 makes him a pseudo 25k leader, putting him on par with the Fuzamasu and the Broly. And then when that Goku is awakened, not only will this guy be at 30,000 power, but he won't be able to be he won't be able to be KO'd by skills. So that really sets up a really good board against green. And makes it a little bit harder for yellow to do some stuff to him. Now, I don't think, but I mean, yellow can still rest him. Yellow or blue can still bump him back to hand or put him bottom of the deck. But he's a really solid option, I think, for Universe 7. I would say at least a 2 or 3 of in the Universe 7 Goku deck. Very strong card, very good option, and very welcome addition. Next, we have a 2-cost 20k power, 5,000 combo Android 18. On your opponent's turn, this card gets 5,000 power. We've seen cards like this before. Android 17 in set 1 does this, I believe, while also being a card that pulls from your life. So I don't think this card is all that crazy. I think it's another option, and it also just adds into the Tournament of Power aspect of it, and it just adds to the Tournament of Power aspect of the Tournament of Power Goku. Gives an option to be able to play her for free. Not a bad option at all. And then we got a 3-cost 25k power 5k combo Stun Goku in his God form, who is just a crit. Again, Tournament of Power option, so there's a searchability option. Not bad to play. The 4-drop Kefla can play this guy, which applies some pretty good pressure onto your opponent because of the crit and the 25k power. I think it's a solid card. I don't think there's really much to really talk about. I think you could make some use out of this guy. Then it was revealed, too. This one has already been kind of teased for a little bit now. 3-cost Gohan, 20k power, 5k combo. Permanent skill on your turn. If your leader is awakened, this card gets 5,000 power. And when attacking, add up to 1 card from your life to your hand, then choose one of your opponent's battle cards, and it gets 15,000 power for the turn. I honestly, in my opinion, I think I like this Gohan a little bit better than the 4-drop Gohan in set 1. Mainly due to the fact that you can play this guy off Tournament of Power Goku's lead ability. You can play him for free off the leader ability. You got Kefla who can play him for free. He gains 5,000 power, which puts him up to the same standard as the crit for 1 energy less. And he does the exact same ability while also being a Self-Awakener. I just think this Gohan is a lot better than the set 1 Gohan, personally. The only thing that you're losing out of the set 1 4-cost Gohan is the crit. And I don't think that's the biggest loss, especially with how aggressive Red is looking to be this set. I think you're probably better off running this guy over the crit anyway. The crit, you could probably still get use out of the crit in like the Beerus deck, but honestly, like I said, I think this Gohan is just better. We already know about this Tien 3 cost, 20k power, 5k combo. On play, play up to 3 Tien Shinhan cards with 15,000 power or less from your hand. This is an interesting card. I don't know how viable it's going to be. I'm sure that there's some builds that you can make where you can really make this go off. Again, he's another option for the Tournament of Power Goku leader to play for free. Kefla can play this guy for free, which then this guy would allow you to play either or of the 1-drop Shins from set 1. You have the 5,000 power blocker, and then you have the 15k vanilla that you can play from set 1. And play up to 3 of them. The detriment to this card is that you need to have those TNs in hand. If you don't have those TNs in hand, or if you have less than the 3 that you can play up to, I don't think this card is as viable as it can be. And it's an interesting option. I think there's some ways that you can maybe play this guy and get the most out of him, but honestly, I think he's kind of subpar. He's kind of mid, all things considered, but he's an option. So I'm sure we'll see some TN builds come next set. All right, then this is what kind of surprised me from this too. We got the Trio to Danger coming into the game now. So 1 cost, 5k power, 5k combo Basil. On play, look at 5 cards from the top of your deck. Reveal up to 1 non-Basil card with a cost of 4 or less and Tournament of Power in its special traits and add it to your hand. Place the rest at the bottom of your deck in a random order. It's a decent searcher because you're looking for a card that's 4 or less. That's not another Basil, so you can't go searching for another searcher. And it's Tournament of Power. So it's a Tournament of Power searcher that just can't search for himself, which in terms of restrictions, that's not the worst restriction set that I've seen in this card game so far. I think this isn't a bad searcher, so might be worthwhile to run in the Tournament of Power set if there's not any other searchers. We'll have to see, but very cool option. Definitely think it's not bad. The only thing is that I feel like in Fusion World, I feel like playing cantrips to get free draws is a lot better than some of these searcher cards. I can't tell you how many times I played a searcher only to get a whiffed hand and then I have to send everything to the bottom of my deck. Especially if there was like a high cost card that would have helped me later in the match. Like, I don't know. I'm in a weird place with like searchers in this game right now. I think this is a good searcher. I just don't know, like, I don't know if I would play this guy over a cantrip. That's just my preference personally. But he's not a bad option. Alright, next we got Paparoni. 1 cost, 5k power, 10k combo. Activate main. Once per turn, you spend 3 energy. You can look at the 7 cards from the top of your deck and play up to 1 Anilaza with 30,000 power or less. Place the rest at the bottom of your deck in a random order. Now, I feel like there is a way to play this card. I feel like there is a way to play this card. The problem being is that he's a searcher who's looking for a specific card, and you're spending 4 energy to make this play, when if you already have Anilaza in your hand, then why would you spend the extra energy to play this guy? Because Anilaza is already 3 costs. So if you have Anilaza in hand, you can play Anilaza from hand without having to spend the extra energy and without potentially whiffing the cards you pick up from the top of your hand just to put into the bottom of your deck. I feel like there somehow you can maybe make this guy work for you. I think it's kind of a bad card overall, though. I don't know if I can see myself running this guy. He's got 10k combo, which isn't anything to fret about, but again, it's just the search capabilities of this guy, I feel like, are not good. They're not good, considering that there's only 1 Anilaza card in the game, and you can just play him outright for 3 as opposed to 4 that you would be playing this guy. Then we got a 1-drop, 5k power, 5k combo Piccolo, where on play, he just draws a card. He's basically the Master Roshi of set 1. Nothing crazy. Nothing crazy at all. Tournament of Power, so he's searchable. I guess that's something. All right, then we got a Frieza, who's 1 cost, 15k power, 5,000 combo, where on your turn, if your leader is awakened, this card gets 5,000 power. Playable, it's cheap cost that's playable off of your Goku leader, although you're paying 1 cost for him anyway, so I think he's fine. He's not great. He's not something that I would be running a lot of in Tournament of Power, probably. But he's an option. He's an option for cheap. I mean, 20,000 power for 1 cost is pretty strong, so it's, you know, is what it is. Then we got a 3 cost, 20k power, 10,000 combo Vegeta. On play, choose all your opponent's battle cards with 5,000 power or less and KO them. I think if you couple this with the Catapesla, I think you have a lot. I think there's a lot of possibilities with this. Because realistically, your opponent's going to play a 1-drop cantrip or Searcher, which is more times than none, 5,000 power. Then he's probably going to play something that's about maybe 15,000, maybe 20,000 turn 2, right? Play Catapesla on your turn 2 to minus it by 10,000, maybe get him down to there. Come turn 3 on your turn, you might be able to bring him down and wipe board from him. I think there's a play with this Vegeta. I think especially in the Beerus deck, I think there's a play with this. I don't see you running this guy at more than 2 or 3 of, though. I only say 3 of just because of the combo power, but 5,000 power or less is like really hard to like hit. You have to get extremely technical with how you use your negging potential for this guy to really like benefit. Then we got a 2 cost, 15k power, 10,000 combo Bergamo. His permanent on your turn, all of your battle cards with Trio de Danger and their special traits gets 5,000 power. Nothing crazy. It really depends on what other Trio de Danger cards we may get in the future. I think a lot of these cards in this set, a lot of them really benefit red, don't get me wrong, but I think there's also a lot of setup for future booster boxes that may be releasing. We could see an SR Bergamo come next set, or we could see one of the other Trio de Danger guys get an SR next set. I feel like cards like this kind of tell me more so that, yeah, we're gonna get the other sibling in this set, but depending on how good he is, I think this is more telling that there will be stuff coming in the future, and this guy will be really good if you want to run a Trio de Danger kind of deck. We've seen Hellas already. 4 cost, 25k power, 10k combo. On play, choose up to one of your opponent's battle cards with 30,000 power or more, and it gets minus 20,000 power for the turn. Good card for Beerus. Really strong negative potential. Has a little bit of a counter against Broly, Cell, some of the other green decks in the game, maybe even Goku Black. Definitely a possible option for Beerus. Next, we have a 1 cost, 15k power, 10k combo Murichim from Universe 10. Just a standard 1-drop vanilla card. Nothing crazy here. And then here we got the last of the Trio de Danger. Whatever. I'm trying to be fancy with it. Whatever. Anyway, Lavender. 2 cost, 15k power, 10k combo. When attacking, choose up to one of your opponent's battle cards, and it gets minus 5,000 power for the turn for each card with Trio de Danger and its special traits in your battle area. I think this is good. If Trio de Danger gets a lot more support in sets going forward, I feel like Trio de Danger has a lot of utility based off of the 3 different Trio de Danger cards that we've gotten in this set so far. Having the extra negging potential, having the self buffer in Bergamo, having a Searcher in Basil. There's some good usage in all of these guys, and I think that in a way, you might be able to make these guys work in the current set, but I really, like I mentioned earlier with Bergamo, I think it's more so that these guys are options for cards that are going to come down later in later sets. Then we have Rumshi, 5 cost, 30k power, 10k combo. On play, choose up to one of your opponent's battle cards with 30,000 power or less and KO it. Again, I think it's a solid option for a deck like Beerus. A lot of these God of Destruction cards seem to really want to be run with the Beerus deck, and this is just another example of that. Can easily see this being an option for later on. in the game if you're looking to get some extra clearing power and a little bit of extra oomph to your swings. Then we got the Rebriand super combo. Nothing to really write home about super combos. It's super combos, so does nothing special. Next, we have a 4K or 4 cost 20k power 10k combo Rebriand, who's double strike. I'm not sure how good this is. I think double strike on a 20k is decent enough where it can apply a good chunk of pressure onto your opponent to have to combo out come like mid game. But I mean 20k power is not a lot. The benefit, I guess, from this is that the tournament power leader is able to play her for free. Kefla is able to, well, no, Kefla's not able to play her for free because it's 3 costs or less. Yeah, I'm not sure how I feel about this. I think it's an option. I think if you wanted to play a more aggressive playstyle, Rebriand, I think here with double strike could apply some mid-game pressure to kind of force your opponent to combo their hand. But I mean, 20k is really easy to get over come mid-game, and it's like a 5k combo otherwise. So unless you yourself are using extra cards to buff her up, or you're comboing in to kind of make that double strike hit a little bit harder, I don't know if she's 100% worth it, but I guess we'll have to find out come next set. Then we got a 2-drop Rosie, 15k power, 10k combo. When attacking, this card gets 5,000 power for the turn for each of your opponent's battle cards. I think this is a solid option. I think Rosie has potential, especially if you're going up against Blue, who likes to play a lot of cards for cheap, and Red and Yellow. I think against Blue, Red, and Yellow, like, this card could really like see some benefit. Like, just imagine you're in a mirror match and you're playing against Universe 7, and your Universe 7 opponent has 4 cards on board. That's an extra 20,000 power. She's 35,000 power. Like, I think Rosie is a really, really strong card, really good. I think you could probably run her at 4 and you'd probably be sitting fine. That said, I probably wouldn't say she's all that great come early game. I think she's probably better towards closer to mid game, but all in all, like, again, very solid card, very aggressive option for Red. All right, now we get into the last little bit of cards here. It's all the extra cards. So we are getting a 1 cost, Saved by a Barrier. It's an activate battle card where on your opponent's turn, choose your leader or up to one of your battle cards. It gets 20,000 power for the turn. Then, if the chosen card is a battle card, that card can't be KO'd in battle for the turn. I think this is a good card. I think it gives a little bit of sustainability to red cards. The fact that it's a permanent can't be KO'd option is awesome. I think being able to protect battle cards indefinitely to keep them on the board for at least one more turn is good. On top of the fact that they're gaining 20,000 power, so you can block probably most attacks with that. Couple this with the 1-drop Roshi that allows you to play extra cards for free. I think this is a solid extra card. Now, how many you want to run this in a deck, I'm not 100% sure. I think it really kind of depends on the deck. But all in all, like, I got no complaints on this card. It's a pretty solid option. Then we got 2 cost, Clash of the Strongest. Choose all of your battle cards with Tournament of Power in their special traits, and they get 10,000 power for the turn. This is a very strong card. If you can build your board up and keep your board alive come the mid game, then you could really beef up a lot of your battle cards in one fell swoop for 2 costs. Honestly, again, like, another really strong option, really strong card. I don't see any issues with this card. Really good card for the Goku leader deck. And last but not least, I think this is the last one. We have Glimpse of a Hidden Arrogance. 2 cost, activate battle. Choose your leader or up to one of your battle cards, and it gets 25,000 power for the turn, or for the battle. Then, if you have a battle card with 30,000 power or more, add up to 1 battle card with a cost of 4 or less from your drop to your hand. This is a good card. because not only is it gigantic meteor for red, but it's also you can also bring back like a 4-drop Kefla or something back from the grave that you can play the following turn if you need to for that little bit of, again, it gives red a bit more sustainability in allowing you to be able to play stuff and set yourself up for more aggressive plays as your next turns kind of come up. So I think it's a really strong card as well. All the extra cards for red I think are actually really, really strong. Yep, and with that said, that is the red archetype for set 2 of Blazing Aura. Let me know what you guys think down in the comments below. What is your favorite card out of all the cards that was listed here today? Let me know down below. Like this video for more. Subscribe for more Fusion World content. And I will see you guys all in the next archetype breakdown. Peace.